My name is Nathan Rice. I'm the senior pastor of Christ Community Church in Ocala, Florida.
My name is Ross Lehman. I am the worship and music pastor, officially assistant pastor at Christ Community Church.
Well, my name is Alexa Domofsky. I run the live stream and technical equipment at Christ Community Church in Ocala, Florida.
We've been using GPS for about a year now. For us, GPS has just been, it really has been a godsend. Prior to GPS, we just kind of used a hodgepodge. We were just trying to get live streaming going and different technologies, and things are constantly failing on Sunday mornings. And that's a big problem, because if you're in the middle of a sermon and the slides go out, then people stop thinking about the Word of God. They stop thinking about what you're saying and the message God's put in your heart. And they start wondering what's going on with the technology here, and why is the screen blank or whatnot. And so for us, GPS has come along, and it's been the most consistent tech program I've ever used before.
My overall impression is it's quite good. It's very easy to use. Our technical system prior to GPS, from a live stream standpoint, was essentially a single camera. We actually kind of started it, I believe. Our first live stream was actually done with an iPhone, or might have been an iPad. Went to a JVC camera, static camera, wide shot, and that was pretty much the extent of it.
GPS helped us to be able to use our very small tech team to be able to do more with just one person. Now we can run the slides for the songs and run the live stream at the same time.
Prior to GPS, we were really struggling with our live streaming, which is important because in this day and age, post-COVID or post-pandemic, we just realized how important that digital ministry is. And so we want to consistently reach our people that are at home, or to share and spread the message of the gospel all throughout the world. And so it's really important. And we were really struggling with that. And sometimes the live stream would work, sometimes it wouldn't. We were integrating with YouTube. But since we have gone with GPS, we've had consistent success of every week, really no issues of uploading over to YouTube.
I think the primary issue we faced with our previous system had to do with the sound more than anything else, trying to get the sound from a camera, microphone on the camera, through the soundboard, getting that all evened up, or trying to run sound from a microphone on the platform into the camera. Trying to get that all to mesh proved to be rather problematic.
So prior to GPS, we were using PowerPoint. That was a really important part of it, but we were also using one of the other regular church management programs, and we struggled a lot. Like, I feel like about once a month we'd have a pretty significant glitch when I was trying to preach, and I love to use illustrations when I preach, graphic ones. You could see where Jesus walked, and it's just really cool to show pictures of archaeology and to visually engage people during the sermon. And so it's really important. And it's just pretty frustrating to me if I could not count on our tech system to work correctly. And so we were pretty excited to try a new potential solution to that would hopefully be more consistent. And GPS has definitely been way more consistent. And I don't worry about the PowerPoint and my slides really at all now. I just assume it's going to work, and it does.
Yeah, and the fact that we used a single camera forced us to, for the most part, keep a pretty wide shot if we needed to show what was on the screens as well. Now, we could focus in on the pastor as he was preaching, or different people on the music team, but of course that would then take away what was being shown on the screens, because that was the only way that we could show people at home, what the lyrics were, what the PowerPoint looked like.
So our previous system, we used just one stationary camera in the back, the JVC, and we would have somebody upstairs switching slides and somebody downstairs trying to operate the camera. We mostly just were stuck with having one still shot, so we'd zoom out, try to frame the stage as best as possible, and keep it in that same shot for the whole service.
Well, I think GPS has improved our technical system in a lot of ways. One is being able to utilize 4 cameras is nice, getting different camera angles, having one that's close, one that's far away. That was one big issue. The other was being able to display lyrics at home on the screen without having to have them look at the screen here. They could see what was going on at home because it was displayed across the bottom of their TV screens.
We have 2 pan-tilt zoom cameras, an iPod Touch near the stage, and then a JVC camera stationary in the back.
GPS has been incredible for our technical system. When we were live streaming before, we had a camera that was set up and it would get myself, maybe some of the worship team, and then it would catch the corner of our projectors. And so if we had people that are trying to worship along with us from home, then you would kind of catch the lyrics on the screens, but it was really kind of disconnected, and it wasn't really immersive. But now we have not just the one camera, but 4 cameras that are set up around our sanctuary. And we really enjoy the bar at the bottom, so that people can be seeing and feeling like they're part of our worship service. They're able to see the people leading worship and see some of the congregation participating in worship, and then have that little bar at the bottom with the lyrics. And so it's really freed us up from that point to have so many different cameras, and GPS has done a phenomenal job at integrating those 4 cameras to help give a more immersive experience of worship for those that can't be with us on a Sunday morning.
Switching to GPS allowed us to maximize the use of our small tech team. Now one person can switch the cameras, run the live stream, and switch all of the songs during congregational singing.
The cameras have been relatively easy to add. That the cost of these cameras has dropped substantially in recent years, and we even have an iPod Touch that it's very mobile, that you can just easily integrate in with the GPS system, and you can walk it around or position it a little closer to the speaker. And so it feels like on an almost shoestring budget, we're able to have just incredible production capabilities.
Switching to GPS also helped us with the lyrics for songs, because on GPS, on the live stream, the lyrics are displayed in the bottom, and in person, the lyrics are displayed on the wall behind us. And so the people in the live stream can see the lyrics clearly, the people in the building can see the lyrics clearly, and the camera shots of what's going on in the live stream are much clearer, because we don't have to zoom way out to show both the screen and whoever's on stage.
I think the people at home have found it to be quite beneficial, an improvement over the other, just overall quality improvements.
Well, as a pastor, I really love the preaching features in GPS. And the way that I use GPS while I'm preaching is that I have a Windows tablet that I'll take up with me. I'll take this along with my Bible up to the podium and just kind of put them there next to each other. And then I do my sermon outline, my sermon slides in PowerPoint. And so I'll run PowerPoint on my tablet, and I'll put it in presentation mode. And so what it'll be doing, it'll be taking a screenshot, and that will be what's being projected on the screens. And so I can just walk through my PowerPoint this way. And as I walk through the slides, it's so great to be able to know what the next slide is, and then also to be able to have my notes here. And so it's really important to know, hey, I need to make sure and hit these few points as I'm preaching. And since I'm using a little clicker, I could just have this on the podium. I could walk away from it and just keep on clicking and looking at the feedback monitor. And so it's been really great. And I can't remember the last time that it messed up. Maybe in like a year, I've had only a couple issues with it, and they've been pretty quick to resolve. And so I just really appreciate how reliable this is and how functional it is, and there's no way to want to go back. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it is nice to know from the perspective here that people at home are able to participate with us here. They can see very clearly and follow along with the lyric that we're singing, which I think will then enhances the overall just worship experience. Being able to understand the lyric is a big deal. As those of you who listen to music at home on stereos and things know that a lot of times you lose that. So being able to see it, I think is a huge plus.
GPS has been just an incredible blessing to our church. It's enabled us to be more immersive with our online live worship experiences. It's been very easy to pick up and to learn. In fact, my 8-year-old son has been able to run it up from the computer. And we've been able to bring people on just very quickly, and they pick it up. It's very simple to learn. And so from a tech perspective, when you have a hard time getting new people learning the technology, this has by far been the easiest program. And I've worked with 4 in the past. And it's been stable, it's been consistent and reliable. And it's constantly getting connected up with our live streaming services, and it's just you can count on it, and it's great.
Well, I think as a worship leader, my responsibility is primarily with the songs. And now that we have been establishing a library and being able to set up the songs, set up the backgrounds, it's all very simple to do. It's nice to have a certain amount of control over the lyrics, over the fonts and font sizes, and how many lines go on a slide, and all those kinds of things. It's nice to have that control. So that's been one of the nice features that, for me personally, being able to utilize it. Adding in videos, basically it's just, point and click. And then, of course, once you have your library set up, it's very, very easy, because all I have to do is go and pull in a song or pull in an existing background or whatever, and very, very simple.
Just this week, we've got a friend of ours that goes to our church. He's in Switzerland. He's in a foreign country, and he just loved being able to watch our service and feel like he's still connected with the church, even when he's on vacation, even when he's away. And so just loved it from a technical perspective and feel like you're here in the room with us. And so GPS with a 4-camera system, and it's been great for that.
One of my favorite features of GPS is being able to switch shots really easily between using several cameras, and the ability to easily control the pan, tilt, zoom. It makes our life as the camera person much easier. If somebody suddenly moves, I can, switch from camera 1 to camera 3 or something, without having to actually move the existing shot camera. But other times I can do that because the controls are very smooth using the keys, and that was something we couldn't do with just a handheld camera. It was very hard to get it smooth.
And the way that we do the lyrics here is we have an account with Song Select, CCLI Song Select, and all the lyrics and everything are there. And there's a very simple copy-paste in that system, where you basically just clipboard the song out of CCLI, paste it, and it comes up. All the slides are there, and then it's you can manipulate the slides as you want. If you need to reduce the size of the font, or if you need to move lines from one slide to another, very simple to do.
When you look at all the different moving pieces there are in a technical presentation, to be able to bring that into one centralized program that does handle your live streaming. It handles your visuals and your presentation and the cameras and all of that, and the lyrics, the worship. When you bring all that into one program and bring it at a very affordable price point, you just want to get the word out. You want other people to be able to use it also, because there's streaming services that charge way more than that and do far less than that. And so it's just, I think it's going to be a tremendous thing for the church nationwide and worldwide. It's just incredible.
GPS has helped our church with our live streaming. I'd say that's the main thing that stands out to me, is making our live streaming smoother and easier for the tech team, and making it more accessible to those who had to stay home or are sick or out of town, or whatever the case may be. People can view the service and worship together with us, whether or not they're physically here.
I think GPS has helped just in terms of the overall live stream. I mean, prior to, we weren't live streaming. We were kind of forced into it due to the whole COVID pandemic, and we realized we didn't really know what we were doing. Had to rely on people's supposed expertise and just kind of piece together a system. Having GPS it's all self-contained. It's very easy. The learning curve is not very steep. It just improved the overall. It gave us the ability to do it really more than anything else.
I would recommend GPS to other churches that are looking to streamline their live streaming and maximize small tech teams, or maybe free up tech team members to do other things.
Absolutely, especially to churches that don't have a large budget, or would just as soon not spend thousands of dollars on big cameras and booms and things like that. The setup we have here with the stationary cameras, pan, tilt, zoom, that can be manipulated by one person and do all those things, certainly would recommend it.
So yes, I would absolutely wholeheartedly recommend it.